Welcome back everybody, and welcome to our first holiday workout. Today we're going to be looking at something that affects a lot of people, especially if you're sitting at a desk, whether you're at school or whether you're at home doing your work or studying, and that is low back pain. So what many people don't know is that low back pain can be due to several things, but very commonly it's tightness in the hips and weakness in the abdominals. And then if you're sitting incorrectly, kind of a desk, you know, all those things contribute to that pain right down at the bottom of your back, usually on one side or the other. So I'm going to be having a look at a few exercises and stretches that we can do to tackle that, and also we'll hopefully get a bit of a sweat on and get ourselves stronger and fitter. So you will need your water bottle today. Just a light stretch to start off with. We're going to be on our front in a press up position, and we're going to lift our chest up and then pull our shoulders back so we're not pinching our neck. Now this is stretching our abdominals, making sure we've got good posture by pulling our shoulder blades together, and obviously it is compressing our lower back. So we'll be working on stretching that out a little later on in the video. Try to breathe really low down into your stomach to really stretch those abdominal muscles. Right, now we're going to stretch those muscles in our back. So again, we're going to have our hands in a press up position, we're going to be on our knees. And we're going to lift our spine, just like a cat would, right? So shoulders need to stay where they are, and you need to curl up towards the ceiling, okay? So you're pressing your arms down and your shoulders down and your hips forward, or your pelvis forward, and you're curling your back. And then take some really deep breaths. And this time breathe into your chest cavity rather than your stomach. Just really stretch that space between your shoulder blades. So if you're finding that your shoulders are starting to burn a little bit, so the muscles behind your shoulders here, your rotator cuffs, then you probably do have a problem with your posture. You're obviously quite weak, so we'll look at a few things that we can do to improve those shortly. Right, well done. So on to the first exercises for the lower back. So problems with your lower back are often associated with weak abdominal muscles, especially down here at the bottom. And if you do, for example, leg raises and you find that hurts your back, or your back comes off the floor when you're doing it, and obviously your abdominals aren't really strong enough for up to task. We'll be looking at a few exercises that pair together nicely to fix both those problems. But firstly, I'm going to go on our front, and you've got to keep your legs really straight. So don't let them bend up like this. We're going to lift them off the floor, keeping our upper body on the floor, lift them off the floor, and we're going to hold to 10. And we're going to come down, and this time we're going to do 10 lifts. So try to imagine that you're trying to touch the wall behind you, so stretch your legs really far out. And then relax. And then again, hold for 10. And then down, relax, and then we're going to do 10 lifts. Then we're going to hold for 10. And relax. And I'm going to do 10 lifts. Relax. Okay, let's get up and just stretch our lower backs again. So if you weren't feeling it in your lower back before when you're doing the stretch, you should now. Okay, I'm going back down. This time I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to be lifting our upper body. Now, if you want to make this more challenging, lift your upper body and your lower body at the same time. If you need to make it easier, you can use your hands. Okay, so you're not pressing yourself up with your arms. You're trying to pull with your back muscles to achieve this. Okay, so that stretch that we did at the beginning is why we did it, to activate all those back muscles. You need to be doing this. Okay, we're going to hold for 10. Relax. Then we're going to do 10 lifts. And relax. And then hold for 10. And relax. And then 10 lifts. And then relax. And then hold for 10. Now remember, you want to make it more challenging, you can lift your legs as well. Relax, and we'll do 10 lifts. Well done. Let's just stretch that off one more time. Okay, so we're going to have a nice flat back now. Make sure you're comfortable. We're going to take one leg, keep it completely straight, and we're going to lift it. Okay, play around with this if you want. You can bend your leg, you try and keep it at the same angle, and you're going to point your toe to the roof and try like touch the roof behind you, if that makes sense. But play around with it because it depends on kind of what sports you've done growing up or whatever. You're trying to get the lower back rather than the buttock. Okay, so have a play around with it and see which one you feel. It will work both, but see which one you feel is getting your lower back most. For me, it's just a straight leg. I'm going to do 10 lifts. On the other side. And go one more time each side. Okay, so now we're going to work on mobilising those hips because lower back pain can often be due to tight hips. So we're going to bring our knee forward, out to the side, in a circle. So imagine that you're trying to draw a circle on the floor like this with your knee. And I'm just drawing that circle with my knee. If you like me, you'll hear a whole load of clicking. And the other side. Okay, and I'm going to do a circle the other way. So this time go backwards. Backwards on the other side. Okay, and this time I'm just going to go out to the side. Go one more time. And the other side. Right, we're going to do one more exercise for our abs, but I'm feeling quite tight in my lower back. So what we're going to do is just do a little bit of a stretch. I'm going to lie on out front, spread your arms out, okay? You're going to take one leg, and you're going to tilt and touch the floor behind you. Really breathe into your stomach here to stretch all the ligaments and tendons in your sides. And we'll go the other way. Okay, now we're just going to stretch our lower back. So for this one, we're going to lean forward. I don't want you to curve your spine over. You won't be able to go as far as you usually could if you can go far on. And stay really upright. We're just going to lean forward. And as we lean forward, we're trying to like stretch our spine towards the wall opposite. Like this. Not like this, just forward. Go as far as you can while keeping your back straight. Okay, perfect. So this is where our bottle is going to come in. I'm just going to be doing some lower body exercises, or I should say abdominal exercises, right down here at the bottom. So this is where you'll know if you've got problems with the strength in your abdominals, right? Because your back will start having to compensate and keep your body straight when you're doing leg raises. So what you'll find is your back starts arching and coming off the floor, or it just starts hurting. So when you're doing this, try to tilt your pelvis like this so that your back stays against the floor. And if you need help, you can take your hands and put them underneath here. But the whole purpose of this is to lift your buttocks up so that you can curl your back more easily and push the bottom of your back into the floor. Because your back shouldn't be kind of arching. Because what that means is that your abs aren't strong enough and the abdominal walls like open like this, right? Which is causing your spine also to arch. So that's not what we want here. We want everything to be able to contract nicely. So bear that in mind when you're doing this. Don't use the water bottle if it's causing pain in your lower back, or if you're not able to keep your lower back on the floor. But if you want more challenge, I'm just going to hold it between our feet. Okay, and we're going to do 10 races. Relax, and we'll do 10 more. Well done, everybody, and as usual, don't just do this video and then don't come back to it. I'm trying to do videos covering different parts of the body so that everyone can get something out of it, and regardless of your fitness level, it should be challenging. So please come back to this video if you do have lower back pain, and do it for 2 or 3 weeks and see if you get improvement. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next Sunday.